Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between green hills and a sparkling river, there lived an old woman named Maria. She was known for her kind heart and wise words. Maria had lived a long life, filled with both joy and sorrow. Her husband had passed away many years ago, and her only son, David, had gone to the city in search of work. Now, Maria spent her days tending to her garden and feeding the birds that visited her window every morning. One evening, as Maria was sitting by the fireplace, knitting a scarf for the upcoming winter, she heard a strange noise outside. Curious, she stepped onto her porch and saw a glowing figure standing under the old oak tree. The figure was neither frightening nor threatening. It seemed to radiate warmth and peace. "Who are you?" Maria asked, clutching her shawl tightly. "I am a wish granter," the figure replied in a soothing voice. "You have lived a life of kindness and generosity, Maria. The universe has chosen you to receive one last wish. You may ask for anything, and it will be granted." Maria's heart raced. She had always dreamed of such a moment, but now that it was here, she was unsure of what to wish for. She thought of wealth but dismissed the idea. She had lived a simple life and needed little. She thought of youth but realized she was content with the wisdom age had given her. Finally, Maria spoke. "I wish for one last day with my family as it used to be, with my husband and my son when he was a little boy. I miss those days more than anything." The wish granter nodded. "Your wish will be fulfilled at sunrise tomorrow." The next morning, Maria woke to the smell of freshly baked bread and the sound of laughter. When she opened her eyes, she saw her husband, John, standing in the kitchen, humming a tune. Her heart swelled with joy. Then, she heard the pitter-patter of tiny feet, and her son, David, ran into the room, his face glowing with the innocence of childhood. "Good morning, Mama," David exclaimed, throwing his arms around her. Tears streamed down Maria's face as she embraced her family. The day was filled with love, laughter, and cherished memories. They went to the river, played games in the garden, and shared stories by the fire. For Maria, it felt like a dream she never wanted to end. As the sun began to set, Maria felt a deep sense of peace. She knew this day was a gift, one she would treasure forever. When night fell, Maria tucked young David into bed, just as she had done so many years ago. She kissed his forehead and whispered, "I love you, my little one." Then she turned to her husband, John, who was sitting by the fireplace, gazing at her with a gentle smile. They sat together in silence, holding hands, the warmth of the fire reflecting the warmth in their hearts. As the clock struck midnight, Maria felt a strange stillness in the air. She looked at John, whose smile seemed to glow brighter. "Thank you, Maria," he said softly, "for everything. You made our lives so full of love." Maria held back tears, knowing this was goodbye. "And you made mine," she whispered. "I will never forget this day." The glow around her husband and son grew brighter and brighter until it filled the entire room. Maria closed her eyes, savoring the feeling of their presence one last time. When she opened them, the room was quiet. The fire had died down, and the house was empty once more. But Maria didn't feel sad. Instead, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. The wish granter had given her the greatest gift she could have ever imagined, a chance to relive the happiest moments of her life and say goodbye to her loved ones. From that day on, Maria lived with a renewed spirit. She continued to care for her garden, bake bread for her neighbors, and share her wisdom with anyone who needed it. And every night, as she gazed at the stars, she felt her family's love surrounding her, as if they were watching over her from above. Maria's story spread throughout the village, inspiring others to cherish their loved ones and appreciate the moments that make life meaningful. Though Maria eventually passed away peacefully in her sleep, the legacy of her kindness and the tale of her magical last wish lived on, reminding everyone that love is the greatest treasure of all.